The Nasca take their name from a nearby river and are renowned for their pottery. They're also renowned for depicting massive land-based figures. And in fact, we find somewhere around 800 miles of lines drawn on the Nasca Plain. Now, these defy perception from the ground because they really wouldn't be that visible. In this case, we're looking at exactly the same point, the arrow on the right pointing to the point where this photograph is taken. And you can see that you can't make out the form at all from the ground, but from the sky it becomes quite clear. We also find about 36 different plant and animal images on the Nasca Plain. The one we're focusing on is the hummingbird, which is several hundred feet long. To make it, they selectively remove soil to reveal lighter clay and calcite underneath. Now remember, this is in the middle of a desert, so you can remove these stones and it will remain this way for a considerable period of time. The whole thing was probably laid out with simple stone and string methods, simply marking out where you are, where you want to be with these different stones and using a string as simply a measuring device or to maintain distance between two parallel lines. Also, it would make circles and spirals very easy. And these forms may have been used for pilgrimage, or it's been argued that possibly it was used for irrigation or drainage. Now, it's unclear whether or not these could actually be used as drainage, since we don't find evidence of crops at the ends of the parallel lines. Kind of causes some problems with that theory. Not that it's impossible, we simply haven't found evidence. They may have also been a map of the territory of a spiritual nature. So it's possible that this is a spiritual map of the area. Also, until recently, similar forms were used as pathways in association with shrines. And it would be a very long path, but then again, we have similar ideas in the West where we use, for example, a labyrinth as a meditative tool. Perhaps these were the same thing. Maybe these are their form of sacrifice to their gods. Maybe, like the Greeks, these are votive offerings. They're actually offering this thing, this form, to their god, and therefore they want to make it as massive and as perfect as possible. There's a lot of possibilities, and this is why we see so many conspiracies about the Nasca lines. There's so many possibilities, and yet there is no clear evidence that any one of them is absolutely correct, at least not at this point.